Hi, welcome to Cognossance Inner Harmony. My name is Judy. This is an intro video where I will explain to you what cognosance means, what the process is, tell you what it's used for, and talk a little bit about myself, my background, and how I became interested in energy healing. This is actually the second time I will be recording and uploading this video. I had done that a couple of days ago. I didn't publish the original intro video. I just had a couple of friends look it over for me and give me some feedback, but something happened to that video after it was uploaded. It was fine to begin with, and then all of a sudden it started skipping and stuttering, not unlike myself. And video lesson number 2, same thing. So if you happen to cross the videos already, I was wearing a pink and white striped blouse. Although they were unpublished, they were available for viewing if you happen to come across them. So I'm sorry if this is repetitive. It won't be exactly the same though, because I don't run off of a script. I just try to think about what I want to say in advance and go as much off the cuff as possible. So it shouldn't be exactly the same. And also I realized after posting that I had forgotten to mention something. So there is something, hopefully I'll remember to mention it in this one. So what does cognosance mean? When I was coming up with a name for this method, I wanted to actually make up a word. And I wanted it to be similar to some word that already existed and for them to have the same or very similar meaning. So because I am a language nerd, I was thinking about the root words in Latin and Greek for knowledge. So cognosance is an amalgamation of the Latin and the Greek words for knowledge, and the suffix ance at the end just means the act of, an action, in other words, or a state. So, for example, the act of being brilliant is brilliance. A state of resonating is resonance. So for me, cognosance means knowing that you are moving towards or that you have achieved inner harmony, or what I also like to refer to as core contentment. That's the part that I forgot to mention in the first intro. So inner harmony, core contentment, both very important things for your sense of well-being. And the pre-existing word that sounds like cognosance is cognizant. Also comes from the Latin and Greek words for knowledge. So what cognosance actually is in terms of a method, it's a combination of a few different factors, but essentially it's an intuitive tool for me to determine what low vibrational frequencies are getting in the way of your sense of inner harmony or your sense of core contentment. And in the sense that it's an intuitive tool, I would compare it, to try and give you some sense of what it's all about. I would compare it to seeking some kind of guidance from a tarot card reader or a medium, some kind of an intuitive. And then in addition to that, the actual process of releasing the low vibrational frequencies incorporates some aspects of meditation, like a meditative or a spiritual practice, energy practices as well. So the part of it that's similar to meditation and yoga is a breathing exercise. It's a very brief and quick breathing exercise for each released emotion or low vibrational energy. It incorporates breath work, which helps to center you as a client or as a viewer, and to focus your attention on the release of each individual low vibrational frequency, otherwise known as negative emotions, words, thoughts, intents, beliefs, I should say intentions. So there's the breathwork component of meditation, whether it's transcendental or mindfulness, also yoga. There is also a mantra involved of sorts. So on the exhale, I have people think in their minds the word release, release, release as they're exhaling. So a mantra is also involved. There is also some similarity to some energy activities and practices like Qigong and Tai Chi, also Reiki. So with Qigong and Tai Chi, if you're practicing that, the goal of that is to move energies around your body. So moving chi, really, that's what you would call it. And Reiki also helps to move energies around your body. The practitioner does that for you, and they activate or balance out your chakras, your energy centers, if you believe in that sort of thing. So lots of different components, lots of different similarities to a group of other types of practices and activities. So what is it good for? Well, as I said before, it's a way for me to identify, and then for you and I to release negative, viral, toxic emotions, thoughts, and beliefs from your physical body and your energy body. Things that weigh you down, make it hard for you to achieve that sense of contentment. Super duper important. Contentment, inner harmony. And what that does, when you dial that stuff down, when you purge excess amounts of negativity, low vibrational frequencies, you really reduce stress. I think all of those things contribute to stress, and then stress affects your mental health and your physical health. So while this is not a medical or a mental health tool directly, if you can release those energies from you and achieve a degree of core contentment or inner harmony, the stress greatly reduces, and it will enhance, it should ultimately enhance your health. When you think about people's negative, toxic thinking and belief patterns, what I sometimes think about is how, as a society, we've become so used to, we think that happiness comes from the acquisition of goods. We equate happiness with having stuff. But really, you have to have a degree of contentment within you for any of that stuff to matter. So we do think that when we find the perfect partner, they're going to make us happy. If we have a beautiful home, fancy car, beautiful clothes, Manolo Blahniks, Gucci bags, we think those things are going to make us happy. But if you don't already have a degree of contentment within you, all that stuff is just empty. And you can't fill emptiness with emptiness. So that alone for me is one reason to try and achieve a degree of contentment on your own. Not seek things to help you achieve a sense of happiness. Once you do have a sense of contentment, then yeah, a great partner does help you to be happy. And really nice things help keep us happy too. There's no question about it. We enjoy stuff, especially in the Western world, we enjoy things. But what's critical for me to think of, and it's kind of a sad thought, unfortunately, but there are scores of celebrities. There have been quite a number of celebrities in the last few years who, there have been rock stars, comedians, actors, designers, celebrity chefs, who, as outsiders, when we observe them, we think they must have the world by the ass. They must have it all. But obviously, they didn't feel that they had it all because they took their lives. So for me, it's critical to do whatever you can to balance out your energies, balance your vibrational frequencies. So I do have another video that talks about what I mean by vibrational frequencies. So just bear in mind and pop over to that other video and take a look at that. So that is what Cognossance is to me, what it is good for. Now, what about me? So why did I become interested in energy healing? Well, what got me interested in it was that I had some ailments, some aches and pains, and my most cherished loved one also had an ailment that were not helped at all by medicine or by the medical profession. And it was frustrating. It was very, very frustrating to not get answers and not get help and not find solutions. So I decided that an alternative route might be a good idea. And I wasn't really interested in supplements, not that type of alternative health, but I became really interested in energy healing because I had experienced Reiki. And Reiki was kind of an inspiration for all of this. I had a few sessions of Reiki that I found really enhanced my sense of well-being. And I found out that there were other methods that didn't really have anything to do with a Reiki practitioner, but things that we could practice on our own. So I started about 6, maybe 7 years ago to study 5 different energy healing methods. And they all had value. They were all excellent. I achieved results with every one of them. But what was frustrating me was that I came to understand that when I would clear, a lot of them were based on clearing emotions. They were quite different from each other, but it did, they all had some emotional component to them. And what I was finding was, I thought I was releasing stuff. And I also started working with clients. I developed a clientele just by word of mouth, and stuff was working for them too. But what I was finding was after releasing something, that sometimes that energy seemed to come creeping back in. And although some of those methods did explain how to overcome those types of barriers and challenges, still they would come creeping back in. So I started thinking, is there some way that I can tweak one of these methods somehow? What could I do to enhance the effectiveness? And what I realized was I actually needed to develop my own method. So I determined that I could come up with something completely different that would do the trick, or at least I hoped it would. And I started practicing with that and working with it, and it was working. It was working really well. And I was getting excellent feedback from my clientele as well. I would ask their permission to use a new method that I was developing as opposed to what they were expecting me to use. And the feedback has been, sorry, I'm itchy. The feedback has been tremendous. So that's what it's all about. I think of Cognossance as a life hack. For me, it's a very simple and effective tool to reduce that negativity, to reduce low vibrational frequencies from your physical and your energy body. Get you out of the shadow side. We all have a shadow side. We all have negativity. But move you out of the shadow side and into the light. You gotta shine a light on it. And that's what it's really all about. My background professionally was actually quite mainstream and conservative. I had a 35-year career in customer service, administration, operations, and the last 25 years approximately, maybe not all 25 years, but for the bulk of the last 25 years, I was in leadership roles. So, and in, for conservative professional organizations. So, most people that I worked with, people that I've become friends with through work, really had no idea that I had this other side of me, and they're just starting to discover that now. I think I've always been a little quirky, and they knew that, but yeah, they're starting to learn about this this other side of me that I'm really, really enjoying. I think that's the bottom line for me too, is this system has been really rewarding, very interesting to me, and I'm really passionate about it. Something else too that I guess maybe sparked an interest in energy healing work was about 25 years ago, I was on vacation and I was sitting in a public place just having a drink, and a woman came over to me and she said that she reads auras and that she was watching me. I wasn't doing anything, but she was watching me. And she said that what she perceived was when somebody would come into my, my bubble, my bubble, that she was watching. I don't see auras, by the way. I feel energies, but she is a person who sees them. So she said that she was witnessing energy go from me and into that person somehow, and that energy seemed to come back to me, and that I was somehow filtering that energy and then sending them back the good stuff. So she said she could actually see that, and that it was quick. It was quite fast. It wasn't a slow moving process. It was quite quick, but she could see some, almost, it wasn't concrete obviously, but to her it seemed very tangible that she could watch this happening. And she wanted to know if I was doing it on purpose, and I definitely wasn't. She also said that after the energy went back from me to the person, she said it appeared like light, that I seemed to be releasing whatever was left over. I wasn't holding on to it. And she described it as like a smokiness, which at the time I thought that was just crazy. I thought it was nuts. But, in the long run, when I think about it, she told me that, and she told me other things that actually have had an impact on my life. And they've kind of all come full circle. She was really interested in asking me about it because she said that I would have to be empathic somehow to be able to do that and also be a healer. But what interested her mostly was that I didn't seem to be holding on to, whatever the junk was, that it was coming off of me. So I had some innate ability to release that. And even though I was not conscious at all of this energy exchange, there seemed to be an unconscious ability or propensity to do some kind of an energy exchange with people that she could see. And she said she'd never seen that before. So I think that's what really started it. I didn't actually do anything with that for years and years and years. But she also pointed out to me that the empathy part of that, the empathy piece of that, she was very interested in, because most empaths, people who are empathic spiritually, energetically, they absorb other people's negative energy, and it can be very overwhelming to them. It can be very, very tough for them to deal with. And although I have certainly found my energy mysteriously dropping, I don't really seem to suffer from that. I don't suffer from that in the way that I've seen other energy healers and intuitive people really have tough time with it. So I've actually worked with 2 empaths who are also, light bringers or healers of some sort. And this really seems to be helping them. So that's what it's all about. And my future plans for this channel is that I want to give a different perspective to people about what emotions do to us and how they actually have vibrational frequency. What that level of, negative emotions, thoughts, words, and beliefs, what that does to us, and how it impacts our ability to feel that core contentment, as I said before. So I hope you enjoyed this intro. I hope that you will stick around and watch other videos that are coming out where I try to teach you how to do this for yourselves. At least level 1 of Cognossance you can do for yourself. And I would absolutely love it if you would like, share, and subscribe. thumbs up. Put your comments down below. Questions, comments, concerns, suggestions are welcome. Keep it respectful, keep it constructive. I'm truly interested in hearing what you have to say. And we'll see you next time. Thanks so much. Bye.